Today's episode of Seriously Wrong is proudly brought to you by the divine right of property.
In the beginning, God created the universe. And along with the universe, God created certain rules, laws, fundamental parts of how the universe works. We know them all, obviously. There's gravity, electromagnetism, growth and love and change, and of course, property rights.
Property rights are a sacred bond between man and object, which must be protected and upheld with the full power of the military and police force. Sir, I'm really hungry. Could I please have some of your 15 loaves of bread? I really need it, sir.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I do have 15 baguettes here, but I do need all 15. It's a big family, and we eat a lot of baguettes.
Please, sir. Even just 1/4 of it, even a single baguette would.
So which of my
tide
15
me over.
family members you think doesn't get a baguette?
I'm desperate, sir.
Oh my God, he's trying to take my bread. Officer, this man is stealing my bread.
And I wish you and your family a good night.
Stop, freeze right there.
Please, sir, I need a taste of bread. A taste of bread.
This bread is property. Without this, there's chaos. Up is down. The planets don't spin around each other anymore. It's necessary.
You vicious bastards, you sick society. So sacred, your property, but what about humankind? What about people dying on the streets? Your property. If I had called the police in hunger and need and complained about the property holder failing to do his duty to other human beings, there'd be no police to protect my need. No, the police only show up to protect something called property, not to protect human beings. We need not a sacred right of property. We need a sacred right of need. That would be really interesting. I think a lot of people would like seeing that. It'd be kind of cool. But I don't have power to do something like that. I'm just a bread thief. Just scum from the streets.
And at just that moment, a telepathic fairy that could not speak out loud appeared in front of the bread thief and told him through a mind connection that it would grant him his wish, waved its wand, and the whole universe changed.
Sir, I'm really hungry. Could I please have some of your 15 loaves of bread? I really need it,
No, I'm
sir.
sorry. Family dinner. We all need a baguette each.
All right, well, I'll just be calling the police then.
Oh, don't call the... Come
Hello,
on, we
police.
need these too.
Hi, I've got another criminal here. Needs to be locked up.
No, officer, come
Send
on.
him to jail.
I won't do it. I'll run away.
Put your bread down, sir. Your hands where I can see them.
Oh, God, no, I almost got away with it too.
Now that is going to constitute a failure to share needed bread, which is an infraction under Section 8.532 of the Usufructian Code. So I'm just going to have to put you in handcuffs here.
Oh, what kind of a world is this, where a man can just arbitrarily target another man, walking home with bread for his family, his large family, and steal his hard-earned bread? Like, sure, people who need bread should have it, but a system that elevates the sacred right of need above all others is too unjust and arbitrary. There needs to be some balance. What of my need and my family's need? Oh, if only there was a universe where when a man had something, he had it, and it was just his, forever, to do whatever he wanted with it, and have that protected by the military and police. You know, I think a lot of people would think that would be really cool to see. If only somehow that could come into existence from what is instead of what is, have that be what is rather than what currently is, which is this. It would be so cool.
As luck would have it, at that exact moment, a trans-dimensional reality-warping genie forged a psychic connection to this bread-owning victim of a society gone mad. And through the psychic link, he told this bread victim, good news. The real society that is actually real is the society in which bread rights are protected. Your bread is safe. All but a dream.
You're wrong, he's wrong, she's wrong, you're wrong, and I'm wrong. We're wrong, seriously wrong. We're wrong, seriously wrong, wrong.
everyone, and welcome back to the Seriously Wrong podcast Revolution series.
Revolution.
And now we are going to be talking about a revolution that for a big part of history was not really referred to as a revolution until, what would it be? The C.L.R. James was 100 years ago?
Yeah, in the book I was reading, it said it didn't popularly start being referred to as the Haitian Revolution until the 90s. But the first instance of it is, C.L.R. James's book, The Black Jacobins.
Toussaint Louverture and the Saint Domingue Revolution, published in the late 1930s by American Marxist C.L.R. James.
We actually decided to do this revolution. We did a poll in the beautiful Genius Garden, the Facebook group, for you, all the donors listening to this. And it's also great because we've done the French Revolution and the Haitian Revolution, and the French Revolution are like intricately linked.
So the area that we now call Haiti was a colony of France at the time of the French Revolution, at the time of the Tennis Court Oath, and at the time that they published the Declarations of the Rights of Man and created a new high-minded society that stood up to tyranny, the tyranny and oppression of the divine rights of kings. But in their revolution, they upheld the divine right of property, the divine right that one owns what they have. With the exception of one failed attempted counter-revolution during the French Revolutionary period, the French revolutionaries upheld property, and the economic powerhouse economy of Saint Domingue was part of France's prosperity when they took over France. So did they apply their high-minded vision of a universal liberatory declaration of the inherent rights of all human beings? Or did the French revolutionaries constantly say, I agree with the goal you seek, but I cannot agree with your methods of direct action? Just quoting a letter from Birmingham jail. Did the French revolutionary political class advise that the Negro wait for a more convenient season? It's complicated. It's more, let's be pragmatic. This is an economic powerhouse. We need this. But at the same time, the American and French revolutions created a buzz to a certain degree, created this sort of utopian buzz amongst both the free people of color who really saw themselves in this fight for emancipation and full legal rights, but also the slaves who were able to see that revolutions happen, that it's possible for the world to radically change.
I saw some accounts that C.L.R. James had written about that in March 1791. So this is just after the first constitution in the French Revolution had been passed, saying that French soldiers landing at Port-au-Prince in March 1791 were giving the fraternal embrace to mixed race and black people and telling them that the assembly in France had declared all men free and equal. Yeah, the news reaching Haiti, like you can just imagine that opening up such avenues of possibility. The free people of color who'd been like campaigning for their rights to be equal citizens were super emboldened by this. Like when the news first arrived, they basically took the Constitution at its word and said, see, that should mean that we're free citizens. Like that was their argument immediately, saying, obviously this applies to us. All free people are equal citizen. We're a citizen. That was not something that the white population on the island or the governor on the island was very fond of. A couple of years before, just literally 2 years before, in 1787, France had said that they were supposed to begin following the Code Noir again. And they saw this as like a major imposition on them. It was a big problem. France, way over on the other side of the world, is trying to tell us how to live our lives, how to deal with our property. So
big government, get off our back.
Yeah, big government, get off our back. They're seeing the developments in France, and on one side they're thinking, oh, they're going to come and meddle with us even more. This is going to be a big problem. But on the other side are thinking, they're so weakened over there, maybe we can strengthen our own position. Like there were some who wanted to fully separate or become a colony of another country even perhaps, or just become their own white slaver nation like America had done, like separate from the colonial power.
To become a white slaver nation, just like America?
So yeah, it caused a lot of different reactions from the different groups. And among slaves specifically, both the idea that like, oh, this proclamation should mean our freedom, and the idea that it already did mean their freedom, and the white people on the island just weren't going along with it, as they weren't going along with the free men of color's argument that it meant their freedom, became a somewhat widespread belief among some slaves that, yeah, they had been granted freedom and that when the slave revolts do happen, that they were fighting on the side actually of France and the king who had declared their freedom with this new constitution. All right, and we'll just pop out that tape there.
Wait, I want to listen to the rest of the episode.
No more listening for you unless you support us on Patreon. Sorry, it's just the rules. That's how it works. It's the reality we live in.
All right, I understand. That's how it is. Artists need to get paid for their work somehow. So, you know what? Heck, I'll do it. How much should I be giving you per month, and for what good does it cause?
Well, if you want to listen to this one and all the bonus episodes, the whole Revolution series and more, and the whole archive, you're going to need to pledge $6 a month.
Oh, but you work so hard. Can I give a little more?
You know, that's really great of you to ask. Yes, you can. There's other tiers available with some fun stuff. Just check it out on the Patreon. Do you want to do it right now? Just saying, better not to think on it. Better to do it faster.
Yeah, no, what? I'll get it out of the way. I'll do it today.
That Revolution series episode is dangling in front of you like a carrot.
I want to hear the rest of this episode. It's like a carrot to me. So I'm going to get it out of the way and do
people
it.
chase carrots. Thanks, everyone. And especially you, Mr. New Donator, after hearing this ask.
Wow, I can't wait to support independent leftist content. No, man, you made my day by withholding part of this episode.
Really? You mean it?
I mean it.
You're not mad?
I'm not mad. I feel good about my choice.
Do you think other people are mad?
I think other people understand. Different independent creators take different models. That's the model you use.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a huge relief.